that bike.
Jesse Jackson, Lenny Charles, I had world before. You were on the show a while back, remember?
I can be there and get the audio.
Projection high. The last time I met you was a couple of weeks ago at the,
you're here, so I don't have to worry.
The airport when we were talking about the evacuees from Hurricane Katrina. You were really angry at the time. And I'm sort of curious to know the momentum that the anti-war movement seemed to have built up a couple of months ago. It's probably been affected by the hurricanes, hasn't it? It's taken it off the news again.
Well, there's a correlation between the war in Iraq and the crisis in the Gulf states, because it exposes our bad priorities. In many ways, we did not invest in our own infrastructure. We destroyed an infrastructure in Iraq. Iraq was built upon lies and misinformation. There are some wars worth fighting. Fighting to save the Union, to end slavery is a war worth fighting. But in World War II, fighting to end, challenge fascism and anti-Semitism, racism, war worth fighting. Invading Panama and Grenada, war is not worth fighting. Going into Iraq based upon imminent threat, and there was no imminent threat. Based upon the Al-Qaeda 9/11 connection, there was no such connection. Based on the weapons of mass destruction, we never determined that. The weapons of mass destruction in Iraq were taken now by Rumsfeld. So Americans feel deceived, and we're losing lives and money and honor. So we must go another way.
Would you be concerned that there's perhaps a shortage of money to rebuild the Gulf Coast because of what has been spent on the Iraq War? Will carry on.
Well, there is enough money to rebuild the Gulf Coast if we reduce the amount of money in Iraq and end the permanent tax cuts for the wealthy. We cannot fight against poverty, illiteracy, and disease, and fight wars without moral foundation and keep subsidizing the wealth with tax breaks. We're giving the top 10% of permanent tax cuts, allow them to go offshore to avoid paying taxes and get no-bid contracts. That's corruption. We deserve better than that.
Which war should we be fighting?
And so a war on poverty. This time we should be fighting to make a commitment to end poverty as we know it, illiteracy and disease, to fight for drinkable water in the world, to fight to end AIDS, therefore to build friends, fight war to have some moral purpose. And the war in Iraq, we had Iraq contained. Saddam was not going to attack Iran, nor the Persian Gulf, couldn't hit Europe, couldn't hit the U.S. So we were lied to. And with all of the hype around it, at the end of the day, we're losing the war. We're losing money, lives, and we're fighting ourselves into global isolation. And so we did not have a coalition. We had the pretense of a coalition to go into Iraq. And it's exposed. We're basically fulfilling the bill by ourselves. We're paying the bill, and we're losing the lives. We need a coalition now to take us out. We need ropes rather than shovels. We need a coalition to pull us out because we went in on a false pretense. We need to come out because America is such a great nation at our best. At our best, we can be that great nation that can be a force for good in the world. At our best, we really can fight to end HIV/AIDS and fight for drinkable water and fight to feed every hungry person in the world. At our best, we're that. At our worst, we're trapped in a war of choice, and we deserve, and the world deserves better from us.
No blood for oil. No blood for oil.
Turn off, I just wanted to.
No blood for oil. No blood for oil.
You get a good
No blood for oil. No blood for oil. No blood for oil. No blood for oil. Let's hear in the back. No blood for oil. No blood for oil. Let's hear it over here. No blood for oil. No blood for oil. One more time. No blood for oil.
That's a war worth fighting. In fighting the war to end slavery, to save the Union, is a war worth fighting. The war in World War II to fight racism, anti-Semitism, fascism, is a war worth fighting. But bombing Grenada, bombing Panama are not wars of moral justification. Fighting the war in Iraq based upon an imminent threat when it's not true is not the right war. And therefore there is growing rejection of the idea and the lies within our own country and around the world. America at its best means so much to the world to be a misleader, but we in fact should be a leader.
Reverend, I have a question.
About New Orleans.
Hi, nice to meet you. My question is,
If you can't beat them, join them.
This is what democracy looks like.
Americans, especially Americans my age,
This is
younger
what
generation, what is the Iraqi
democracy
community to us, do you think?
The money we need for
This
your
is
generation,
what democracy looks
the
like.
education and healthcare
This
and
is what
security is going
democracy
to
looks like.
what's making your world more dangerous. When you go into places around the world,
This is what democracy
as Americans,
looks like.
we are now seen as enemies, as
This
opposed
is
to
what
good Samaritans. We're
democracy
seen
looks like.
in hostile terms, as opposed to terms
This is what
of friendly. We
democracy
deserve
looks
a better
like.
reputation, indeed deserve better leadership.
This is what democracy looks like.
Mr. President, I voted for you last time. I'll vote for you again.
Guys, can you guys do the interviews?
This is what democracy looks like.
Archive news.